Welcome to this episode of Guiltless Gourmet, and we're talking destination dinners today, Lee. So you want to tell us what that means?
To me, the best part of traveling is, of course, experiencing the food and wine.
I was just going to say eating.
I think I've built my whole life around traveling and food and wine. I actually wrote my essay to culinary school about, because it's kind of my joke that I have with myself, that I can tell you anything that I ate in the museum cafe, but I have no idea what
you
works of
saw.
art that I saw. But I can remember the baguette sandwich or the cup of coffee that I had or something like that. So that's for me, obviously, is always the standout. I like the art, but I like the food better.
Mano y mano.
And I think that's the way that you connect the best to traveling. I have a hard time with people that travel and only eat at touristy spots, or they go to the safe place like McDonald's, or you have to get in there.
Yep. I
And
totally agree.
you need to, and if you can eat dinner or lunch with a family and they have a specific restaurant they like, or even better, if you can go to their home and have them serve you and just see the ritual of how people do things differently than what we do. You learn so much about a culture, and to me that is a priceless experience that not every traveler gets to experience. So to me that is the greatest thing. And then you can bring it home and do your own little interpretation with your local ingredients and that kind of thing, and share it with your friends. And I think it's better than a postcard, a picture album. You can come and kind of recreate that same magic and experience that you had while you were traveling back at your home and share it with other people.
Yeah, and share it with others. Yeah, I totally agree. And one of the things I love to do when I travel is go to the grocery store. I don't care where it is.
Yes.
I don't care where it is. If it's going to Cleveland and going to the grocery store, I want to see what's in their store, because everywhere in the United States and the world, they carry different things,
Even
right?
just something as simple as a bag of chips.
Oh,
you can see their
so
marketing,
fun,
their branding, their flavors,
Exactly.
anything. I love doing that. So yeah, and to me, always one of the greatest takeaways as far as souvenirs are little things you can share and eat or create something with.
And that leads us right into the wine and food that we can share. Talking about wine, first of all, and talking about Spain. And I'm going to Spain in September. I'm so excited.
I am not going to Spain in September.
Well, you can come with me, but
that would be nice.
Okay, so what I poured today for us is a Tempranillo from Spain. It's not aged, so it's bright and young and fresh. And here's what's
Just like us.
I love that. So here's what you want to know about the Tempranillo. This is not from Rioja, okay? So Tempranillo
and that's probably the name that most
people
most
know,
of us
yes.
know,
But
right.
Tempranillo is a big factor in. It's an important grape in Rioja, as is a lot of other things like Grenache that we are used to hearing. But anyway, Tempranillo. This is from Toro.
Let me translate that for you. That means bull.
Yes. And Toro is a town, and it's an appellation. That's the place it's from. If you were looking at a map of Madrid and you went up and to the left a little bit, that's Toro, so close to Madrid, and they make beautiful wine there. And so this is a Toro Tempranillo. Say that 3 times fast after drinking a glass.
Toro Tempranillo.
You haven't drank your glass yet.
Okay, well, get back to me. We'll do it again at the end of the show.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and let's look at the color of this first. What color is it, Lee?
It's a ruby-ish
Yay!
type color, I would
Yep,
say.
ruby-ish. It's got a lot of purple in it. So let's swirl and smell it. Other than good, what does it smell like?
To me, it smells very earthy, I think.
Yeah, well, okay, old world Spain, not unusual. I also get currants, and I get, cassis, like from France, the black currants.
Yes.
And I even get a little prune, Lee.
We don't talk about prunes because I have a deep-seated fear of prunes, because my sweet, sweet grandmother used to eat prunes, and she would keep them in a bowl, and I thought they were frightening and disgusting.
Okay.
I've honestly probably not really even eaten a prune, but she hid a prune in my bowl of Rice Krispies one morning, and once I started digging in, there was this nasty prune in my Rice Krispies. I have been traumatized ever since, but I get it. I think it's a good flavor.
Okay, so does it taste like it smells, do you think? You can taste again.
I think it tastes... I think it's a little fruitier tasting than earthy.
Okay,
I
good.
think the aroma is earthy, but the taste is
Pruny.
Pruny.
Okay, it's got nice acidity, right? Because your
Right.
mouth, you let it run down. And then did you put it up underneath your front lip? Do your teeth need to be
You get
brushed
the
or they have a sweater?
Yes.
Yeah, a little sweater,
Mhm.
yeah.
A little sweater, absolutely,
Okay.
yep.
So, strong cheese, roast beast.
Oh, roast beef.
Yes.
A leg of mutton, if you will.
Actually, any kind of beef. So, steak, pork chops, grilled pork chops, yum. And Spain is the land of pork, so any kind of pork.
So what
with
about
it.
ham? Something like ham, would that work with this
Ham,
as well? Or does it need to be more of a grilled type meat?
I think you could probably have Iberico ham, that beautiful
Okay.
ham, or Serrano. But that ham in Spain is nothing like the ham we get here.
Right.
It's really dry and salty and delicious. So,
Okay.
yep. All right. So, but it's going to go really good with what I've got to kick off our market basket.
Okay, so what do you have here?
Okay, so remember, market basket is what we talk about when we talk about what we've bought lately and what we love and what we want to share. So I have some cheese, and it's called Kashkaval. It is a sheep's milk cheese from Bulgaria.
Right. I have not been to Bulgaria.
And
but,
I haven't either, but there we go. There's a destination we need.
Absolutely, yeah.
So if you like manchego cheese from Spain,
Yes, love
okay,
that.
you're gonna love Kashkaval because it's the same animal that the cheese comes from, the
Okay.
milk comes from. So I am gonna actually, can I use my fingers?
Of
They are
course.
scrupulously clean.
Of course.
There we go.
Thank
There's
you.
a cheese and cracker. And so what I want you to do is taste this with the wine. So taste the wine, take a little sip of the wine, and then taste the cheese, and then taste the wine again, because the food is going to change the wine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
All right, so
I could run off to the corner and just eat the
I
rest
know.
without. So that adds a little, I don't think creaminess is the right word, but it just kind of softens
it softens,
the
exactly.
acidity of the wine.
Exactly, and so that is why we always eat with wine or alcohol, actually,
Yeah.
because it makes it taste so much better.
And so I remember in your wine classes that you did, you always say, because I think people think wine changes food, but it's the food
that changes
that
the
changes
wine.
the wine.
And I just proved that to you because we took a sip
Yeah.
first, then we tasted the cheese, then we tasted the wine again, and the wine was different.
Yes, it was completely.
Yep.
And not in a better or worse way, but just
Just
different.
different,
And
yeah.
still really delicious.
Yep. And isn't that cheese good?
It is very creamy, very light. I think you could serve this with anything. And this would be great with one of those hams.
Yeah,
I think.
Iberico or Serrano ham. Oh, yeah. And so in Spain, when they bring that ham out, they have like little teeny thin, you can see through pieces on this huge platter. And you think,
And
there's
aren't you
no
supposed
way.
to actually be able to see through it?
Yes, and you think, no way will I be able to eat this. And then you and whoever you're sitting with polish off the entire plate, because it is like a quarter pound, but it's just so thin.
Yeah, it
it's
looks
beautiful.
copious.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. I've also not been to Spain, and that is
Oh, all
on
right,
my radar
now,
of
yep,
where we
yep,
need to go.
We gotta go. All right, so tell me what you've got in your market basket while I munch on the cheese
So-
and drink the wine.
I have things from a couple of different of my favorite places. Right here I have a honeycomb, which if you're talking about cheese, that is a great thing to serve when you're doing cheese. Honeycomb or some kind of preserve, something like that. And this is from the Savannah Bee Company, and
Yay.
I love going to Savannah and eating
And
drinking and seeing the history. And so this is a great, very easy to take home in your suitcase and share with your friends, or just eat it all by yourself
with a spoon in the corner.
And it's also it's beautiful. So I have that. And then here I have some herb de Provence, which is obviously from Provence. And this is a good multi-purpose seasoning. I think when people are starting out cooking, they don't really know how to stock their spice cabinets.
Yes.
And I know that you've always said Italian seasoning, herb de Provence, something that has a lot of different herbs in it. So this is tarragon, lavender,
Basil, marjoram.
Just some interesting things that you're probably not going to go buy a jar of marjoram or tarragon or something like that. But this can be used in so many applications. You can put this on a pizza. You know, it can be used in Italian red sauce.
Yep.
It can be used great on chicken. So this is a good thing to have if you're just starting out, to have something like this. It's a multi-purpose.
I totally agree with you.
And this is a green chili powder, which is not something you find in the store very often. But Nancy and I went to a professional conference in New Mexico.
Santa Fe.
And that was one of the most interesting places I've ever been. Just visually, it looks so different from Atlanta, where we live. And the food is amazing. And so we went to the Santa Fe cooking school. I believe this is where this is from. And I got all different kinds of chili powders. And it's definitely not the chili powder that you find in the grocery store. This is green, which is really interesting and very flavorful. And I think we had some fun times in New Mexico. I think we went to a winery.
We went to Vivat Winery, which is one of the highest elevation wineries. And the wine was really good. And funny enough, you know, I mean, people think New Mexico, but they make great sparkling wine. So Gruet comes from there. You may have had that before.
And that's something that you can find at the Whole Foods locally in the grocery store.
Exactly. But the Vivat Winery had two things. Do you remember what the two things were?
I remember you had a nitro brew coffee because you were driving.
I know. Isn't that sad? And that Jeep, oh gosh, that was terrible. I mean, most people would really like to have a Jeep. That was the only car they had when I got the car, and I was like, oh, please, no Jeep.
It looked good, though.
Yeah, it looked cute, yes. So. But now the two things that Vivac has are wine and chocolate.
Oh,
do you remember the chocolate on the side?
I remember the chocolate,
yes. Oh my gosh.
I mean, and that's a whole nother story, because wine and chocolate, because you know, we have this big differential about wine and chocolate.
Yes.
And you like the sweet stuff with the chocolate.
Yeah.
And I do not.
Yeah, we'll have to
that's a whole nother show. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a really fun, and I mean, I almost got enough enchiladas and tacos and things like that, but that was a really fun trip.
I don't think you can ever have enough
That's probably
enchiladas or
true.
tacos. But yeah, that was a great, and it is not Tex-Mex. It's definitely, all that food is more rooted in Native American.
Yeah.
And very
really interesting. Yeah.
So that was a fun trip.
That was a fun trip. Okay, so I've got one more.
Okay.
And this is, my friend James just went to Iceland.
Oh, James.
Yes, you know James.
I know James.
And so he brought back, and so we're talking about bringing back and cooking at home, but also I love bringing little things back for other people to share. And so I had to bring these because this was so interesting and I can't wait to use it. It's an herb from Iceland, and it's Icelandic moss.
Oh.
So you want to taste it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna...
Like moss off the side of a rock?
I'm assuming that's what kind of moss it is.
Oh wow, it even says Iceland moss.
Mm-hmm. You'd think I was making that up.
I mean, I can't see that far across the table, so you could have been.
Yeah, it's kind of, it doesn't have a lot of flavor.
It doesn't
kind
have
of
a lot of
crunchy,
flavor,
but I'm gonna experiment. So I just thought it was really fun. He brought these back to all of us. He helps He helps me at Cook's Warehouse, and he's awesome. And so there's salt and a couple of herbs from Iceland. So
See, something like that is a very thoughtful gift. Easy to pack in your suitcase or your carry-on.
Yep, exactly.
And I think that's a great. I love that. I love. Too. My parents are have been in Croatia and Italy for the past 3 weeks, so I'm hoping that something fun, souvenir-wise, comes back to me.
A lot of wine.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a souvenir. So.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to hear about the Croatian wine because I have not been to Croatia and I really want to go. All right, so let's put this stuff back because I want to talk about what we are eating today and our recipe for today because this is Destination Dinners. And so this is the end of the dinner. And this is a Sicilian olive oil cake.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. It is so easy to make, Lee. You know, I'm not a baker, so
neither am I.
if I have a recipe for something, it is so easy.
One bowl.
One bowl. This doesn't even take a
Okay.
mixer. Okay, so not even a mixer, and the fat in it is olive oil. So surely it's.
So now, what kind of olive oil? Is there a specific type that you need? Do you need to invest in a really good olive oil? For
No,
this cake?
not for this. What you want is a very neutral oil. So you don't want one of those green peppery oils.
So if you're at the store, do you buy something that just says extra virgin? Do you buy light olive oil?
I would probably buy light olive oil
Okay.
for this because you don't want it to have a lot of taste.
Okay.
Now, if you're lucky enough to go to Sicily, you could buy a Sicilian olive oil and use it.
Okay.
But, you know, if you go to Italy and you ask for eggs for breakfast, they're going to go, American, you're an American, because they only eat sweet stuff. I mean, in Sicily, you
I have a hard time with that.
Really?
I'm not really a sweet eater in the morning.
Oh, they're so good. They
They
put
don't
all
do
these-
avocado toast.
They don't do avocado toast in Italy. Oh, they probably do in Rome and Milan, where all the, you know, it's all the expats and stuff like that. But most of the time, it's just sweet stuff, but it's good. And when you try this olive oil cake, you're gonna find it's not as sweet.
Too sweet.
Yeah. And you know, in Sicily, they even have chocolate. They even have chocolate on the breakfast buffet, like bars of chocolate.
That I can get behind.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I remember when the last time I went to Italy, every hotel we stayed in, the breakfast buffet just always had Prosecco. Because
Oh,
I
yes,
think
of
they
course.
think, and it was gratis.
Yeah.
Like, you should just, they do
Drink.
not have that at the Holiday Inn in Macon, Georgia. So I really admire that about the Italians.
Yes,
They can have
I
some
do too.
Prosecco for
I
breakfast.
do too. So you want to pour some limoncello for us so we can
Sure.
taste it, because I actually marinated some lemons in the limoncello.
So now tell us about this, because
Okay, so we all love limoncello. We're very familiar with it in the United States, but there's the secret behind buying limoncello, Lee. You want to buy limoncello from the place in Italy it's from, which is Sorrento or down Amalfi Coast, or
Okay.
you want it southern Italy.
Okay.
So this one is from Sorrento.
Oh, see, I'm being rude. I'm pouring myself
That's
first.
all right. You just wanted it so
I
bad.
did. So there's some etiquette for you.
Yeah.
Pour your friend's drink first.
That's very nice. Ooh, and you gave me a healthy pour. Woo.
Oh, small glasses.
So you want to, it's going to be more expensive to get it from the right place, but that's what you want, because that's really, I mean, you do not want to get just limoncello that says Italy. You want it to be from the right place because it's going to taste better.
So now, what temperature? Because I feel like I always keep my limoncello in the freezer. Is that the proper way?
That is
to do
wonderful.
it?
Yes. You won't get it quite that cold in Italy, but it definitely needs to be chilled.
Chilled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's try
All right,
this.
here we go.
Ching,
Look
ching.
at that color. Yay! And
Mm. Now this one I really like, because it's taken me a long time to like limoncello because it always seemed very sweet to me, and maybe I was buying some Americanized version of limoncello. And I also feel like the ones I've had, they're a little bit more viscous or syrupy
because-
and kind of a darker color.
Yep.
And this is a different, lighter color.
Yep.
and it does not hurt my teeth. It's not too, because I am not a big sweet eater,
Yeah.
and that's why I always had a hard time with limoncello. But
Yep. This
to
one
me,
is
this
really
is
nice. Yeah. You can
very
taste the
smooth.
lemons, right?
Yes, I mean, you just get a nose full of lemon when you drink this. This is delicious. This is
Really good.
wow.
Yeah. So if we were in Italy, we could have ordered a coffee corretto. And coffee corretto is a shot of espresso with a shot of liqueur in it. Now they probably wouldn't put limoncello in it. They'd probably put like grappa or Kahlua or what's the anisette stuff? The stuff you put the, oh my gosh. Sambuca!
Yes, Sambuca.
Oh, bad memories. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to give us a piece, and then you are going to talk to me about
All right.
the potluck, right?
Okay. So we are at the point in the show where we like to call potluck, which is not soupy casseroles, but if we're that questionnaire about what you prefer in 60 seconds or less. So Nancy, you are the recipient of the potluck questions today.
Oh, I'm not doing enough work, just getting our cake on the table. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Okay, so you have 60 seconds or less to answer the following questions.
Okay.
So the first question is cheese. Are we gonna do cheddar or brie?
Both.
No, it's an either or question.
No, I know. I guess I'd have to do cheddar. I know
It's
that
a little more
yeah,
multi-functional.
purpose, yeah.
Okay, so we got cheddar. And then how about lemons or limes?
Oh, lemons.
Okay, because you just made the cake with the
Yeah, but
lemons.
I mean, lemons are my life. I cannot work in the kitchen without lemons
Yeah,
because they
lemons
add
are-
so much to everything.
Yeah, they're amazing. Okay, so how about Pinot Grigio or Chardonnay?
Oh. So that's a hard question because Chardonnay is very versatile and you can have really dry, crisp Chardonnay. Okay. I guess I'll say, and I don't like a lot of the Pinot Grigio here in the United States, but I do love the Northern Italian Pinot Grigio. So Pinot Grigio.
Okay, and how about grappa or limoncello?
You're not going to believe this one, but I'm going to say grappa, hands down grappa. I'm not much of a sweet limoncello person, and most of it's really, as you said, not good.
Yeah, I love the grappa too. It's really it's kind of fun, and
It
I'm
is.
not really a licorice person, but there's something about the
Yes.
that the grappa gives to you. It just adds.
That's called alcohol, lady. That's called jet fuel.
It just adds a little fun to the day. So,
Yeah.
all right, last question. It's a travel question. Thailand or New Zealand?
Okay, that's easy. New Zealand, because Thailand does
Really?
not have wine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you remember we were supposed to go to Thailand? Do
At
you remember
one point,
you won
Yes, I did.
something?
Yeah.
And we never went.
We didn't.
That's too bad.
That
That
is
was an
very
opportunity
sad.
wasted.
It was. We'll have to revisit that.
Yes, yeah, they need wine in Thailand.
They
so.
do, yeah.
But all right.
All right, Lee, we're going to be back here again for another show with
The Guiltless Gourmet.
Awesome, and we're going to talk next time about scrumptious summer eating.
Which is very exciting when you live in the South. We are waiting for that perfect tomato. That is the epitome of summer. So
Whoa.
hopefully we will be getting close next time we see you.
Okay,
All right.
come join us.
Cheers.
Yay, cheers. Ooh, we didn't even have our espresso.